best and ensure that it's delivered in the best way. I think HR has become like core part of me, and the days when I'm not working, then I'm still HR because human resources more about human relations. As a HR professional, it is imperative for me to understand that what is my last standing man feeling about the organization. Technology is just enabler. It's not everything. It's not end of the story. Human connect and physical meeting cannot be replaced. But technology can be leveraged to minimize the time. People need to be open to check on the digitized and tech-driven options and engage decisions.
Hello everyone, welcome to Pharma Now. On today's episode, we will have one of the very dynamic personality in HR, Miss Namita. Namita is a CHRO, Chief Human Resource Officer for Alembic Pharma, and she is leading a team of around 7,500 people. Of course, before this talk, we were talking, and I also came to know that she's coming from very different industries. So Namita, actually, I'm going to open this session with that journey, right? So first, welcome to the Pharma Now.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Same here. I think it's really wonderful. It's going to be wonderful to talk to you about your experiences, and I think you already have more than decade experience.
20 plus years.
My goodness. So it's a huge experience and handling so many people. Still, you are looking very calm and composed. So I really wanted to understand that secret. How managing 40,000 people in DHL?
Yes.
And then 7,000 people in Alembic.
Yes.
How can you keep yourself calm?
Well, I think my journey has been very challenging, and every time I had a different set of problems. Probably I came up with some creative solution. I have spoken to the industry leaders who I well respect them. I've read books which most of the Gen Zs don't, but then I still believe in them. However, what is keeping me like this in my Zen mode, as they say, is you do your best and ensure that it's delivered in the best way.
Wonderful. So it seems like you really love your job as a HR as a profile. Yeah.
So yeah, I think HR has become like core part of me, and the days when I'm not working, then I'm still HR because human resources more about human relations. Mm-hmm. Whether you think of your employees, your stakeholders, your bosses, I think it's ultimately relationship. And over the years, I have learned that these relationships are the benefits and those are the currencies that you make.
Wonderful. So, Namita, let's get back to your journey. Like, you always thought about you would love to pursue HR as a field when you were doing your schooling and college.
Not really. On the contrary, I was doing my chartered accountancy and I was doing my CA inter exams and the topic on taxation stuff there. And then I was really thinking, do I really want to do this? And I had cleared my CA foundation along with my graduation, and after that, I cleared my first group of CA inter, and I realized that no, I don't think so. I am cut out to just do number work. Probably I was more towards people, and this just unfolded then. It was
so was it accident?
It was like one look, and I decided that no, I don't want to do this, but I want to do something to do with people. And I finished my graduation. I was doing my master's in commerce from Bombay University. And at the same time, I was looking for a job which is into admin or HR. And I do remember that I started in payroll and recruitment at a construction company. It was so different. And when I got this job, my family members were like, "What are you up to?" Like everybody started on to me at the hand. So, what are you doing? You're wasting your time into the wrong field. I said, "This is what I want to do." And from there, I started. Probably God has been kind, and I've got good people around me, whether organizations or family members. They've always supported me, and that's what brings me here.
Wow. Tell me, if you must be remembering some interesting experience when we were working in construction as a recruitment and payroll. I don't know because in a real estate, it's very difficult.
It's very difficult. So we had daily wage calculation, and I do remember I used to really punch in numbers manually and talking about more than.
I think they must have hired you because your background was CA.
Yes, I was good with numbers then too, and that was the reason I was hired. I would not deny that. That competency was used then. And I used to punch everything manually, and I did request for access to a computer. It was a desktop then, and all I was been said that payroll के लिए desktop क्यों चाहिए?
I think वो बड़े sheets वगैरह.
Exactly. I remember filling those pink colored leave form.
Oh my God.
I remember filing it by myself.
Right.
So those were very strangely funny episodes in my life. And
Right.
I happened to meet them 10 years back, and they were like, "You were the first one who spoke about the desktop and the computers, and now you see how the tech has changed the world." And probably after me pushing them so hard, after 3 months me being in the company, they really got first desktop ever in the organization.
Oh my God. Wow.
And we were like really doing puja into the computer because it was the first new thing, just like a new car.
Right.
And it was fun working on earlier Fox Pro or the earlier language, which was.
I mean, what was the time? 90s.
It was in early 2000.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I think that was the time where desktops and Fox Pro and everything was working.
Yeah.
Sure. Then how you what was your journey after that?
After that, obviously, I did my post-graduation work in the research for
Pune. Okay.
I was in MNT for a while. Then I moved to the financial services. I worked with sort of equity protein houses. I think it did give me a great amount of experience in talent acquisition, how do you strategize with the market dynamics, how do you recruit people, retain people, how performance and the top line is according at the end of the day we work for the organizations that go down. I think that has been one wonderful journey.
Correct.
Obviously, then I moved to the logistics space where I worked with 3PL, 4PL, supply chain, last mile delivery, and it was a different ballgame altogether when you have different countries, you have different nationalities, the real-time concept of diversity, inclusion, equity, belongingness was right there on my face, and how do we deal with it? Because people come with different sets of challenges, and yet you cannot use your tool, yet you cannot really say that this is not going to work, but you make it happen with the network, probably sometimes data, research, technology, leadership, and influencing style with the US stakeholders.
Sure. I really wanted to explore each of those words because each of those words, I think we can do different podcasts on it, right? But yes, my question would be, I think you did experience in construction, then L&T, then one altogether logistic and supply chain.
Then I moved to financial services and then.
Yeah, financial services. So I think everywhere the people we are working are on different strata. From different backgrounds.
Absolutely. I have handled a worker who's at the construction site. For that person, daily wage is important, and I have handled done many C-suite hiring and handled all of them who's got those 7-8 figure salary and still cribbing about my one small bill is not been cleared by HR. So I've handled all sorts of categories in my life.
So can you recollect any maybe I can say a very crazy or dumb moment?
I didn't have a dumb moment, but I did have a moment where one of the C-suite was fighting with me for 20 rupees tea expense, and I was like, I was dumbfounded probably that why.
Why did you? Okay. So how do you handle that there?
So I did mention that these are the company rules and we will stick to the lengths. It is 20 rupees or 2,000 rupees.
Okay. Okay. It must be very interesting because I run a company. It's just a very small company, 120 people maybe. Uh, every day is a new way. Every morning I log in, my HR comes in, sir, sick leave, sir, work from home, and then मेरा खून खोलता है and then what is happening? What is happening? 7,000 people. How you manage this?
I think we do a very strong governance. I see that the governance helps, whether it is 40,000 people when the COVID was at peak, our people were then in my previous organization or right out there on the street delivering medicines with the pain, non-essential items. And we were also in the peak of COVID in the Desh red area where the maximum COVID patients were there, and they still, without picking up an item on their own baggage, they've gone ahead and they've done what they want. And it goes to that, I think, connecting with those people, making them feel like we care for you and we genuinely need it. As a HR professional, it is imperative for me to understand that what is the last standing man feeling about the organization. Do we really understand their needs? Do we really cater to their needs and make them feel comfortable? Because at the end of the day, it's that person who is facing our client, vendors, partners, and if that person is not happy, we are never going to get those numbers that we are for. So this happy employee, happy customer, that quote has stayed with me for the longest time, and I still believe whether it is logistics, financial services, or we now in pharmaceuticals, if your employees are happy, satisfied, and contented, they are not only going to stay with you, but they will travel extra mile. Like my MRs right now, we are servicing doctors, so they will ensure that doctor is fully aware about the pharmaceuticals, the medicines that we make, and how it is going to be beneficial. If we just talk about finishing the job, then we what can do it and what say tick the box. But I really personally believe that connect with people will always make you have a differentiated cognition that the fact.
And sure, I think pandemic period was the most difficult period.
It was.
And I think the healthcare professionals have done an amazing job in saving the country or saving the world rather than sick. That's very well said. So going forward to this point, like what are the differences between pre-COVID era and post-COVID era for HR?
I think we had a lot of Zoom and Teams and Google Meets, if I can say that.
Yeah, so it's escalated for 10 years.
Yeah. So I would say that tech has played a very, very vital role in each of our lives, and I strongly believe that tech is also helping us big time if we have to look at things differently. There were things that I was doing it physically without using the tech-enabled versions, but now I've started doing it fully tech-driven. Like for example, I don't call people who are at a certain level and above for the physical interview in the first round. I would prefer a Zoom or a Google Meet or Teams because the visual interview will give you some flair of whether the person is really worth doing for the second round of interview. It saves great deal of time for the person who's especially living in the metro, because most of the metros are heavy on traffic, and we were during this 9 to 5, 9 to 6 kind of timing, so it's so challenging for them to leave the organization, their current roles and come for them. So I'm just giving an example that how it has changed.
I'm sure I think it's a blessing. Because usually before we used to do interviews during 9 to 5 time. Now I think we do interview at 10, 30.
Yeah, and the work has become faster. The pace has picked up. Also in a lot of trainings, I think we are able to save a great amount of costing because we do online trainings. Some of our safety trainings are done online. Some of our coaching is done online. Instead of we wasting time spending thousands of rupees going and meeting the person in different cities, like it's our advantage. It's the efficiency, the productivity that we are trying to get the HR is in that concept.
But as a HR, like, of course, as a tech, it has pros and cons. And HR is, I think, one of the most important aspects to it because you work with people.
Right.
Now, when people, like in India at least, we say that the people to people connection happens when we actually meet. So we create, we handshake, right? So, at this difference, are you like experiencing this difference? Because having a one-to-one trainings, having a one-to-one discussion, like we are meeting here and meeting on Zoom, what difference you find?
You know what? Technology is just enabler. It's not everything. It's not end of the story. Human connect and physical meeting cannot be replaced. But technology can be leveraged to minimize the time. Because we are at a fast-paced world where right now we're talking about in the world there is so much more development happening.
Absolutely.
So what we do is we leverage on technology, but we don't replace the human connection. This is what I would say.
True. So, in Alembic, what are the philosophies?
So in Alembic, we have something called Grow with Alembic, Stay with Alembic, Grow with Alembic. This is our motto.
Stay with Alembic?
Stay with Alembic,
Okay.
Grow with Alembic.
Okay.
And we are 117 years old organization. So there are people whose grandson working, granddaughters are working with us.
Wow.
They have also generation to generation,
Wow.
and it gives us so much pleasure because then Alembic is part of the value system.
Correct. Correct.
And those families bring in so much value add to the organization. And at Alembic, we are very particular about having tech. We're very focused on making our employees' life easier. So we, or at least since the time I have come in last 8 months, I think I've done great deal of change in terms of the way they work and the way they report to the organization, the way they drive productivity. I think its employee value proposition is the focus area for us in making sure that we genuinely make Alembic as a great university.
Okay. Now, my next question here is that you are already a 100+ year old brand. How are you enabling like culture penetration to the customer in person? What are your strategies? Like, I think much of work is so in an organization. I think culture is the most important for any business to do and stay long for such a long time. Otherwise, in today's .NET or whether a web company era, companies are opening quickly and closing quickly. Doing ease of doing business in that way. You can open company quickly, close company quickly. But staying there for 100+ years, it requires huge culture in the organization.
We are strong, very strong.
So, and what are the philosophy like? How to make the culture implemented in everyone's mind?
So, unique for us on the field, we only hire special person.
Really, you only have freshers.
Yes.
Because
Our lateral hiring is limited. It's not. I would not say we don't, but for the front line, for the MR level, we only hire fresher. Then they are being trained very rigorously. We have our own training center in Vadodara. We stay there for the longest time. Then afterwards, they are not with us. Unless and until we feel like, yes, we have put the culture, we have
so
made the
it's like
person
you are
Alembic.
hiring a baby and then you are nurturing them, feeding them, everything you are doing.
And then the person grows. There are so many growth stories within the organization.
But then how you handle that challenge of nowadays I think Gen Z, I will not say Gen Z, but millennial also. Both of them feel that 3 years in one company is, so it's like in ages. You need to switch. How you tackle
This
this?
is invariably there. What we do is we have our bipods. We focus on our bipods and we ensure that our bipods are not being trained. We constantly talk to them, we engage with them at the listening platforms.
How you detect them?
So bipods are obviously a productivity, your numbers.
Okay.
And we ensure that they get the kind of atmosphere that they want. They want to be challenged, they want to have new projects, they need to be connected. Their managers have to be aware of how to deal with them. And from the corporate office, we have constant connection. There is
Good.
a particular person from our recruitment team is always on field, connecting with these applicants, so that we don't lose them.
This interesting. Wonderful. I think let me come back to the training part. I think you mentioned about you have a training sector, and you also mentioned about keep a lot of training type virtual now.
Yeah.
How do you plan your training plans, and does your HR department only execute all the training, or the technical managers and all those people are also?
So we blend the training, whether it is technical or it is our own team. We have wonderful training team in HR, and what we do is we also invite business type to help for the management in the big programs. We do a lot of simulation. It's a mixed learning where there are a few assessments along with the training done. Some of them are done post-training. So we offer a blended learning, experiential learning based on the need, and we make sure that people enjoy it because we take feedback very seriously. We have the constant journey of changing, improving, delivering something unique to our.
Wonderful. And what about change management? Because I think such a big company, old company, different thought processes, different kind of age people, like mostly are people who are sick in 60s, in 50s.
I have all varieties.
And then 20s, so
I
freshers.
have all varieties.
And then how do you manage the change?
I think it's a singular way of looking at us as an organization. Also, I have great support from our computers and management, and they also believe they really had the pace that we have decided as an organization. So because the strategy remains that same stable delivery, and we believe in connect, commit, and celebrate.
Okay, coming.
Connect, firstly connect,
Right.
and then commit that we are going to, and then we celebrate when it is relevant.
Wonderful.
So this is something that has gone well for us, especially from our generation Z to the baby boomers. All of them, they are there in good connection.
Wonderful. Cool. I think let me go back to a personal part of yours and the CHRO, how your day looks like.
Oh, my day is full of challenges. I sometimes feel that the day just vanishes.
Days or months?
At least for nowadays, at least for the months. But yeah, my always focus remains that how do I, on every day in my every action, do something that helps people that want.
She is not in legible. Okay, you also mentioned about you love books. So
Yes, sir.
I wanted to understand what helps you to stay up these all leadership positions, and like you being a CHR, what helps you in your
I think when I was in data and social science, this entire
your piece?
yeah, this this great was. And the whole pattern of reading changed. We believe in one thing. I think I learned it from some of my peers there that we read three different books, and ultimately what you get the crux of it, the juice of it is in your brain, and then you keep pondering around it, and probably that helps you develop things and solutions to come about.
Okay.
And that's why I have the courage to switch things, switch the cities, countries, and probably that has given me some confidence that from what we as people, yes, I want to be down.
So good. And what are your inspirations in this whole interview?
Well, couple of them, I would say, core to me is people don't look at setting my watch. Simon Sinek that I'm a big fan right now.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing.
And also I read a lot of Calyx work. That helps me on what the cinema animation is.
And the real life inspirations.
In real life,
These are also real people I know, but in your
but in my
career.
career, other than in my personal space, we find that to state that Indira Gandhi is what I really respect as a
Yeah, sure.
very strong leader.
Sure.
Irrespective of the evil because I would say.
Iron Lady of
Yeah, and I think the decisions that she had taken in the capacity she was, it takes a lot.
yeah, it takes a lot of time. And during the time, like I think that was the time that I don't think so many videos were.
Investment. I think world needs a
So why not settle? And I think you are going towards that in this. Right? Indira and then anyone more?
No, I think I also admire my mother. Because it really takes a lot in you get context to be a mother and raise a child and be so dynamic. Like in the era from where I have come, 8% talent.
Still, sure.
Some of these women leaders have inspired me.
Certainly. But which books do you like?
Mostly, as I said, that I read a lot about these science select.
Science select.
Yeah.
Oh, so you like the concept of golden circle? Why?
Yes, start with why. It's always why. It's not how, it's why.
In our organization, whenever we take education, and let's take if you're designing any brand or so our job is in the marketing solution, of course. So whenever we plan anything, any brand, so our ritual is basically whole team sits together. They starts the science things we do the work video which present on TikTok. He talks about golden circle and he gives an example of Samsung versus Apple. And that is one of the favorite video.
Yeah, it is actually my favorite video too, and I literally slide by slide, when you're talking, it is there in the
So it's really wonderful. Perfect. So I think Namita, this was really wonderful to have your insights and talking so much about it. So I wanted to have a last opening question, like what would be your one advice to the all pharma professionals who really wanted to move with the leadership here? What would be your one advice for?
I think pharma is, as an industry, has a lot unexplored. People need to be open to check on the digitized and tech-driven options and engage decision.
Wonderful. I think this was a really great message. I actually have so many questions to talk, but I think we need to stop because of the time.
Yes.
But it was really wonderful talking to you, and
My pleasure.
I think I feel that we should keep talking. We should keep talking so that we can get a lot of message out of it. But yes, I think next time for sure. I think we should do part 2.
Why not?
Pleasure.
Thank you very
Namita,
much.
for coming out.